TrainSim Germany is a third-party developer for TrainSim World, and they've earned a good reputation with their Vosloch G6 and Niddertalbahn add-ons. This is my updated review on the Niddertalbahn, as I've had more time to experience this route since I made the original review, which was released too soon after the DLC itself and had too much irrelevant filler. The Niddertalbahn add-on was released in March 2023. At a normal price of an alarming 57 New Zealand dollars, this presents very poor value for money, since you only get a 31 kilometre long linear route with just two forms of motive power. This railway line runs from Bad Vilbel to Stockheim, although some of the stations have been renamed since the time period this route is set in. The Niddertalbahn name translates to Nidder Valley Railway, as it follows the course of the Nidder River. 3 out of the 14 stations are connections with other lines. This route comes with the Deutsche Bundesbahn BR628 diesel multiple unit and BR365 diesel locomotive. They both have hydraulic transmission, a common practice with German diesels. It is the first German route in TSW that focuses on a non-electrified line, instead of the tired old cliché of electrified lines through similar looking urban and rural areas, usually complete with the same generic mix of passenger and freight services. Examples of said cliché include Hauptstrecke Rhein-Ruhr, München to Augsburg, and Hamburg to Lübeck. Another reason why the Niddertalbahn DLC is so unusual is because it's set in 1992. Back in those days, there was still a local freight service for the sugar beet farms in the area, which is why this add-on includes the BR365 locomotive and ES50 freight wagon. This 060 shunter is part of the same V60 family as the BR363 that we already have in TSW, but I often forget the differences between the two variants. The BR365's sounds are reused from the BR363, despite the two variants apparently having different prime movers in real life. As for the BR628, this is a classic DMU with several different variants, and the one supplied with this add-on is the BR628-2, of which 150 examples were built between 1986 and 1989. The inclusion of the old peppermint and white livery is a welcome change from the omnipresent Deutsche Bahn red livery that appears on the majority of TSW's German motive power. This is a two-car unit consisting of one power car, designated as BR628, and one unpowered trailer car, designated as BR928. This variant improved upon the previous BR628-1 by including a first-class compartment and a wall between the driver's cab and a passenger saloon. It also has a more angled front end than the original 628s, and the triple headlight arrangement was moved down below the front windows. Top speed of these units was 120 km per hour, far beyond the highest speed you can get up to on the Niddertalbahn. I find the BR628 to be an easy unit to drive, with convincingly authentic physics as well as conventional notched throttle and brake levers. This unit handles the varying gradients well, and overall I think TSG did a good job on this unit. Same goes for the Vosloch G6 and all. Although this route is quite short, it takes at least 56 minutes to complete because of the high number of intermediate stations and a maximum speed limit of only 60 km per hour. If you've got Dovetail's Lenkränsstrecke Mainz to Koblenz add-on, you'll also see the BR-103 and BR-110-3 electric locomotives running through Bad Vilbel and Heldenbergen-Windecken with their passenger services. But I still haven't got this add-on at the time of uploading. Incidentally, Bad Vilbel is also served by line S6 of the S-Bahn Rhine-Main network, but none of those services are represented in TSW. Perhaps the best thing about this route is the scenery, which is among the highest quality I've ever seen on a TSW route, putting a lot of dovetail and rivet routes, especially the Arosa line, to shame. There's loads of scenic areas on this line, such as the wheat fields between Windecken and Budesheim, the huge willow tree over the track at Altenstadt, at least I think that's a willow tree, and the forest just north of Heldenbergen-Windecken. By comparison, Dovetail's German routes often have basic scenery that makes them look too similar to each other. The trees, flowers, bushes, and other plants are very well done, and I also like seeing the telegraph wires running alongside the track, as they remind me of Smokebox's Cheyenne 1869 routes in TS Classic. My personal favourite area is that which surrounds Kilianstetten station. Although you can't see it too well when the weather is all misty, there is an incredible amount of detail just in the rivers. But some of the buildings aren't as good, in the sense that I thought they looked a bit basic and toy-like. But that's only a minor issue in the grand scheme of things, and overall this route still looks excellent. You also get 6 scenarios with this add-on. One of them, called Glimpse into the Future, involves driving a BR-365 on a light engine run from Heldenbergen-Windecken to Bad Vilbel, all while being haunted by abrupt weather changes and apparitions of modern signals, which contrast heavily with the old semaphore signals that this line was still using in 1992. In timetable mode, you get 8 services for the BR-365 and 54 services for the BR-628, which means the line is very quiet, in stark contrast to the incredibly busy Riesa to Dresden route. And I intended to make a review on this route as well at some point in the future. Passenger services on the Niddertalbahn normally run at least once an hour in each direction, with some of them continuing past Bad Vilbel and on to Frankfurt am Main. The BR-628 DMUs can run on their own or coupled in pairs to make a 4-car train, with the latter being a common practice at peak times, and at off-peak times the units just run on their own. The line is mostly single track, with the exceptions of crossing loops at Altenstadt, Eichennieder, Heldenbergen-Windecken, Budesheim, and the one you're seeing here at Niederdorfelden. Sometimes you'll come across failed level crossings that need to be activated manually, but this is entirely unpredictable. There's even a scenario that revolves around this practice, called manual labour. Ordinarily, the driver can't proceed through a crossing unless he can see the white flashing light to confirm that the said crossing is working properly. Despite the absurdly high price, I don't regret buying this add-on. While it is very short with nothing much to do, especially on the freight side, it still offers a refreshing and much needed change from the normal electrified German lines. all while taking you back to 1992 on a journey through excellent scenery with a well-made train. If you can get this add-on at a good discount, then by all means, go for it.